We spent a total of $11,400 out of our pocket to obtain our fourth rental property. I'm gonna tell you how we did that and the story that goes along with buying this fourth rental. If you haven't seen the previous 3 videos, go back and watch those first, as it gives more context of how we got to this point. So after we lived in that third house for 2 years, like I said, we rented out both the up and downstairs as a midterm rental and moved into our current place, which is a house hack. So technically this house isn't like a full rental because we live upstairs and we rent out the basement. But one day when we move, we will keep it as a full rental. We bought this house in December of 2022 for $550,000. The market at that time was kind of weird. House prices were crazy from like 2020 to about July-ish of 2022. And that's when rates started to go up, so the market softened a little bit. So by the time that we got this house in December of 2022, it was pretty slow. I would say that houses were sitting for a little bit longer and people were scared to buy. So we thought that this was a perfect opportunity for us to get a good deal. So we looked around for similar houses with an up and a downstairs unit and came across this house. When we were first looking at it, it was listed at like $620,000 or something. And at the time, I was only getting approved from a lender for about $550,000. So we told the real estate agent that. I was like, hey, I don't know if we're gonna be able to buy this. We'd have to come in so much lower, but that's what I can get approved for right now. He basically said to just send in an offer and see what happens. And they ended up accepting our offer, which I was super surprised by, but super grateful for. We did the same down payment for this house, which was a 5% down conventional loan. It came out to $27,500 for our down payment. So the way that we were actually able to come out of pocket only $11,400 was because my wife had gotten her real estate license a few years prior. And since she acted as the buyer's agent on the house, we got back a commission of $16,130. So if you take the $27,500 down payment minus the $16,130, that gives you an out-of-pocket cost for us of $11,400. Now, one of the reasons that we did get such a good deal on this house was because it did require a decent amount of work. So over the past almost 3 years of us living here, we have gone room by room and pretty much renovated everything. The total that we've spent on renovations has been about $80,000. So in reality, we are obviously in it more than the initial $11,400. But the only reason I say that is because that's the amount that we technically had to pay to be able to get into this home. The mortgage on this house is about $3,600 every single month, and we rent out the basement for $2,000. So it helps cover a good portion of the mortgage. And like I said, one day when we move, we will just keep this also as a rental. We'll rent out the upstairs and the downstairs separately. And I'm thinking it should be able to cash flow pretty good. That's all that I can think of for this house. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know. And maybe I'll do a little house tour in another video. Okay, that's all. Bye-bye.